members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Concerning the attack on the Republic of China fishing vessel Guang Da Xing No, we made 4 demands of the Philippine government, namely a formal apology from the Philippine government, proper compensation to the victims' family, punishment of those responsible for the shooting, and launching talks on a bilateral fishery arrangement in order to prevent similar incidents from happening again in the future. These 4 demands are fully supported by international law and practice. The response from the Philippine government up to now is not positive enough, not sufficient, and not concrete. They have made an official apology through presidential spokesperson Edwin Lacienda, and by sending a personal representative of the Philippine president to Taiwan to convey deep regret and apology to the family of Mr. Hong Shichen, as well as to the people of Taiwan, over the unfortunate and unintended loss of life. We acknowledge the official apology, but we feel strongly that the word unintended is totally unacceptable to the ROC government. Since the Philippine government claims that the case is still being investigated and no conclusion has been made, in the ongoing investigation, there is no basis to say that it was an unintended loss of life. The Philippine official vessel's excessive and unnecessary use of force against the Taiwanese fishing boat in the overlapping exclusive economic zones EEZs of the 2 countries violated both international law and the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. Such outrageous behavior cannot be tolerated by the international community. We cannot accept the statement by Philippine presidential spokesperson Edwin Lacienda yesterday, claiming that the Philippines has already gone the extra mile, stressing that the incident occurred during a fishery law enforcement operation within Philippine waters. In actual fact, the unfortunate incident took place in the 2 countries' overlapping EEZs, not the Philippine EEZ, as claimed by the Philippine government. In addition, concerning the overlapping EEZs between the 2 countries, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea and relevant case law from the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea have laid out proper due process. That is, what actions may be taken by a state while enforcing the law in its EEZ. Paragraph 1 of Article 73 of the Convention states that these are limited to boarding, inspection, arrest, and judicial proceedings. Paragraph 3 of that same article states that coastal states may not undertake corporal punishment, of which killing is the most extreme type. So shooting and killing are not allowed under any circumstances. In this particular case, the Philippines law enforcement personnel of an official vessel opened fire with automatic weapons on an unarmed Taiwanese fishing vessel that was not provoking it, and killed our fishermen in an unacceptable act of violence. Moreover, the Philippine attack on our fishing boat and the killing of our fishermen are not in keeping with principles of proportionality. The Philippine officials' vessel even fled the scene without offering assistance after first disabling our ship and killing our fishermen. This is clearly in contravention of international law and humanitarian principles. The Philippines has also claimed that our fishing boat provoked the incident by ramming their official vessel. Our inspection of the Guang Da Xing No. 28 revealed no evidence supporting their position, given that the Guang Da Xing 28号 is a vessel of about 15 tons, and the Philippine official vessel is more than 6 times this size. It is scarcely conceivable that such an action would have occurred in any case. 59 bullet holes found in the victimized Taiwan fishing boat are strong evidence that the Philippine official vessel committed an intentional killing in violation of international law and practice. No claim of self-defense or law enforcement can justifiably be made by the Philippine government. The attack was perpetrated by a Philippine official vessel. As such, the Philippine government should be held responsible for Mr. Hong Shichen's death. And so we hope the Philippine government realizes that it has to act in a positive and concrete manner as a responsible stakeholder in the international community. Moreover, I wish to reiterate our call for the Philippine government to make a public commitment to provide state compensation to the victims' family. Also, we have to call on the Philippine government to enter into a joint investigation with our law enforcement personnel, as it is committed to a thorough, exhaustive, impartial, and expeditious investigation. In connection with the ongoing investigation, MECO, the Philippine office here, and TECO, our office in Manila, have already made arrangements for coordination between our investigation team and theirs under the provisions of the Agreement on Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters, which was concluded last month. Further, we urge the Philippine Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources to hold meetings with our fishery agency as soon as possible to work out an arrangement that will allow for orderly fishing operations to take place in these overlapping EEZs. This will ensure the safety of fishermen of both countries and prevent such an unfortunate incident from happening again in the future. To this end, we first need a firm commitment by the Philippine government to conduct talks in a manner befitting the principles of parity and reciprocity. Let me reiterate that the Republic of China is a peace-loving country and a responsible stakeholder in the international community. At the same time, we must protect our sovereignty, our dignity, and our national interests, including fishing rights of our fishermen in the overlapping EEZs. Up to now, we have received 5 different versions of responses from the Philippine government. The Philippine government has not shown sufficient sincerity and has wavered back and forth in its position. We cannot accept such a perfunctory response from the government of the Philippines. As a result, we have already taken 11 punitive countermeasures. These sanctions will remain in place until the Philippine government takes more positive, concrete, and sufficient steps to meet the 4 reasonable demands of the ROC government. Our government will continue to communicate with the Philippine government in order to find a just and peaceful resolution to this unfortunate incident, so that bilateral relations between the two countries will not be harmed. We consider the Filipino people as our friends. There are 87,000 Filipinos working and living in Taiwan. We call on our people to treat them well, and our government will continue to provide a friendly environment for them.